So I would just like to go over the pattern of the paper, and then we will discuss case study questions. I've already shared a PDF with you in the group, and I've also shared the assignments of 3 chapters that you have in your syllabus. Please keep in mind that chapter number 2 is not a whole chapter is not in your syllabus. Only the last 3 exercises are in your syllabus, and the questions which are given in your syllabus. So I think you all have your syllabus booklet. Please go through that booklet once before you start preparing. Only the questions indicated in your syllabus are to be prepared, and the questions related to it, along with the assignments. And I've shared everything with you. So you will have 1.5 hours for your paper in all, out of which 1 hour is provided for you to solve your paper, and 30 minutes are for uploading. Last time you had less time comparatively. This time you have plenty of time. So please don't be late. And last time the deductions that were to be made for late submissions were later on cancelled, right? So जिन की भी deductions पहले कहा था कि होंगी because of late submissions, बाद में वो change हो गया था, तो किसी की कोई deduction नहीं हुई थी late submissions की वजह से. This time the examination department is going to be very strict. आपको बहुत ज्यादा टाइम दिया जा रहा है. आपका सिर्फ 25 मार्क्स का पेपर है. Good morning, beta. And you are being given 1.5 hour in all. So please make sure that you submit your paper in time and you name your files properly. So I'll just go over the questions. You will have 5 questions carrying 1 mark each. Objective type means these will be very short answer type questions. You have similar questions in the assignment also as labeled objective type. So it could be a question which could have 1-word answer or very less calculation work, or it could be a blank, or it could be even a true false. So those type of questions will be in objective type. 5 questions will be there, 1 mark each. Then you will have 1 case study question. Now this is something new you have not done earlier. Maybe if you have your siblings in higher classes, then you are aware they must be doing those questions. Teachers may be discussing with them. So case study is like a comprehension in math. You will be given a case that will be your comprehension. Case will tell you what situation you have in hand. That is like a story sum, a problem. And then based on that story sum or problem, you will have questions. All the questions will be in MCQ form. So there will be 5 subparts to that comprehension that you will have. And each of those 5 subparts will be in MCQ form. You have to pick the right answer out of the given choices. The whole question carries 5 marks. So that means there will be 5 subparts. Each subpart carries 1 mark. Each of the MCQ is for 1 mark. Then you will have short answer type questions. 2 marks के 3 questions होंगे, फिर 3 marks के भी 3 questions होंगे. ये solving वाले होंगे proper. Now in 1 mark questions जो सबसे पहले objective type है, अगर तो वो 1 word है, blank है, true false है, तो सीधा आंसर आ जाएगा. लेकिन जहां पे आपको calculation करनी है, चाहे वो थोड़ी सी ही क्यों ना हो, I will advise you to do the calculation. Don't just solve it in rough and just write the answer. Sirf answer mat likhna, please solve. Solve objective type questions also, those which are for 1 mark. Now going over the case study questions, I have actually prepared 2 questions for your class. So this one's based on chapter number 2, and the other one I think is based on chapter 3. So this right here is a problem in hand. As you can see, the problem could be in a statement form, it could be in a picture form. So I've tried to do both. So Rita receives a certain amount of money on her retirement from her company. She gives half of this money and an additional sum of 10,000 rupees to her daughter. She also gives 1/3 of the money received and an additional sum of 3,000 rupees to her son. Assuming the amount of money Rita received on her retirement as X rupees. उसको जो अमाउंट मिला है रिटायरमेंट पे, उसको अगर हम x rupees assume कर लें, तो आपको ये क्वेश्चंस का आंसर देना है, the ones which are given below. And as you can see, all these are in multiple choice form. So you can go over this statement once thoroughly and then start answering. So first part is, which of the following is the correct expression representing the amount of money received by the daughter? So go back to the statement here and see how much money is being given to the daughter. So half of this money, the money Rita received on her retirement, and an additional sum of 10,000 rupees. And you can pick the correct expression for this. What do you think will be the correct answer?
First part.
First part. Half of X and 10,000 rupees. So these are a little confusing, so be very careful. This is incorrect. This means X plus 10,000 divided by 2. Total money plus 10,000 divided by 2. So we need half of X. X is the money Rita received on her retirement. Uska half lena hai aur uske saath 10,000 extra. Then which of the following is the correct expression representing the amount of money received by the son? Now, how much money did the son receive? One third of the money and an additional sum of 3,000 rupees. If we had to make ourselves an expression for this, for the son, it's one third of X and 3,000 rupees. So which of these represents this expression correctly out of the 4 options that we have? Last one says none of these. So out of the first 3, which one do you think is right?
Second part.
Second part.
Second option.
Second part, 1 by 3x is same as x by 3. So this is the correct expression representing the amount of money received by the son. Then after that, now they are saying if the daughter gets twice as much as the son, you already have written the expressions. Aapne first part or second part mein pehle se you have decided which expressions correctly represent ke daughter ko kitni money mili or son ko kitni money mili hai. Now they are saying that if the daughter gets twice as much as the son, then which of the following is the correct equation representing this situation? So daughter's share equals to 2 times the son's share. So which of these will be the correct equation?
Third one.
Third one.
Third part.
Third part. And then finally, how much money did Rita receive on her retirement? So money received by Rita was actually represented by X. So we want to find out the value of X. So you will have to go back to part C, solve the equation in order to decide which of these 4 is the correct answer. So I'm going to give you a little time. I want you to try and solve this equation from part C. Part C में आपने mark किया है, third option is the right equation. So solve that equation and find out the value of X and pick the correct answer from D part. So be careful when you solve. You have half X plus 10,000. On the right hand side, I'm going to apply distributive property. Now you are dealing with fractions. I hope you remember what we do when you have fractions in your equation. You can either take LCM on the 2 sides separately, simplify, cross multiply, or you can take LCM throughout. So if I take the LCM throughout, the LCM is 6, and then I can multiply the equation by 6, and then I can solve. See what the answer is.
Rupees 24,000.
Let's see if anyone else has solved. This was okay. Anyone else who has solved this? So you can now transpose the values with x and keep them on one side, without x on the other side, and you will get x as 24,000. Now you can see that all these parts were interrelated based on the statement. You had first part and second part, and then there was another situation given based on which you could form the equation. Solving that equation, you had further a question. D part यहाँ पे पूछ रहे हैं रीटा को कितना अमाउंट मिला है. They could also ask what's daughter's share or what's the son's share. Then you will find out accordingly. Daughter का share मिलेगा half of 24,000 plus 10,000, and son's share would be 1/3 of 24,000 plus 3,000. So if the question were that way. Now last part is which mathematical concept was used to solve the problem. The clue is already there. The clue is given here in C part. And then you can just pick the correct answer. Statistics is your data handling. Mensuration is area and perimeter. We are working with linear equations here. So the correct answer will be linear equations. So this is one problem which could be asked as case study. So you could have any statement sum in this form in your exam as a case study question. And all of these parts will be carrying 1 mark each. Although you're not required to provide your work, but I suggest that you do it. Sometimes like you solve correctly but mark karte hue galat ho jata hai, ya hum option likhte hue galat likh dete hain. So it will be better wherever calculation is required, just solve it and then write down the correct option out of the choices you have. Now there is another question that I have taken. Take a quick reading. A railroad bridge or a trestle bridge is a bridge composed of a number of short spans by closely spaced frames. So bridge जो होता है जो rail के लिए bridge बनता है, that bridge they are talking about, it's called a trestle bridge also. A trestle basically is a rigid frame. Rigid is a very strong structure used for support. So one of the famous, most famous is Howrah Bridge in Kolkata. So this is a picture of Howrah Bridge at I think dusk. So as you can see that metal thing you on the sides, frames जो बने हुए हैं support के लिए हैं वो, to make it sturdy. Now the framework for a railroad bridge is given below. Now in the next picture, you have a framework. Now you can see crisscross, vertical, horizontal lines there. This just represents a framework. This is how the structure will be created. And in this structure, the condition given to you is DE parallel to BC. It's indicated also. DE is parallel to BC. So DE is this line, BC is this line. Other than that, AB is parallel to EF. So AB is this line, double arrows, and EF is this one, double arrows. It's indicated. Along with that, angle PER, this angle is 130 degrees. You have to answer the questions based on this now. What geometrical shape is formed by BPER?
Parallelogram.
A parallelogram, because the pair of opposite sides is parallel. It could be a square or a rectangle if angles were 90 degree, which are not. Angles are not 90 degrees, so we don't get the shape to be a square or a rectangle. Next, if PE equals to 20 meters and BR equals to X plus 2 meters, then what will be the value of X? So PE is this side, this is given to be 20 meters. Then BR is this side, it's given to be X plus 2 meters. Can you find out X from here?
18.
Yes, because these two are opposite sides of parallelogram. These will be equal. We will be applying the properties of parallelogram. These will be equal. So 20 equals to X plus 2. From here, we can find out X as 18. Then further, what is the measure of angle EPB? Go back to your figure and see angle EPB is this one. So you want to find out this angle in your parallelogram. If I had to roughly draw this is BPER. I want to find out this angle. I have been given this angle, 130 degrees. Which property will you use?
Adjacent angles of parallelogram are supplementary.
Supplementary. And that would make the value of EPB equal to
50 degree.
50 degree.
50 degree.
Adjacent angles are supplementary, right? And then what is the measure of angle ERC? Let's go back. ERC is right here. So यहाँ पे इसको अगर हम extend करते हैं C point तक, ये angle find out करना है आपको. There are various ways to find this. You could also use the property of parallel lines. If you use the property of parallel lines, this is parallel to this. तो ये जो angle बन रहा है, ये इसके equal होगा. These will be alternate interior angles. Or you could work out this angle right here inside the parallelogram, find out this angle, use linear pair, and then find out the exterior angle. What do you think will be the answer?
130 degrees.
Yes, the answer will be 130 degrees. Then lastly, if EQR equals to 90 degree, then what type of quadrilateral is BPER? EQR is the angle where the diagonals intersect. This angle in the middle, if we draw the diagonals, as you can see, the point of intersection is given to be Q. यहाँ पे अगर एंगल जो बन रहा है ये 90 डिग्री बनता है. What can you say about this quadrilateral now? Earlier you were saying that it's a parallelogram. Now what do you say? What do you think it is? The diagonals are perpendicular.
Rhombus.
Sorry?
Rhombus.
Rhombus. It will be a rhombus.
Rhombus.
I hope it's clear how you will be having your questions as case study. Anyone with any doubt here? So you have the same thing जो आप exercise में करके आए हो वही चीज है, but it is not asked directly as a question. It's been given related to a situation or a case in hand. So ऊपर जो ये उन्होंने describe किया हुआ है, जो भी situation दी होगी, it is called a case. You study it and then you answer the questions accordingly. I hope it's clear to everyone. Right now, if you have any doubts from any of the chapters or assignments, do let me know. The construction work that you had done, I'll just go over that.